Tessa had always loved Mike deeply. She believed he was her soulmate, someone who understood her in ways no one else could. Mike was the kind of man who knew exactly what to say, always making her feel like she was the only one in his world. For over a year, she gave him all her trust and love, dreaming of a future together. She pictured a life with him, a home filled with laughter and warmth. Then one night, Tessa nervously broke the news to him that she was pregnant. She expected a mix of surprise and joy, maybe even a little fear. But instead, Mike's reaction was cold, almost cruel. He stood up, ran his hand through his hair and laughed, a bitter, humorless sound. He looked her in the eyes and said, "There's no way that's my child." Stunned, Tessa felt her heart shatter. She pleaded with him, reminded him of their love, of the promises he'd made to her. But Mike only grew colder. He suggested that she had probably been unfaithful, blaming her for the situation he had no part in. She begged him to believe her, tears streaming down her face, but Mike only shook his head. "I can't be part of a lie," he told her. From that night on, Mike began to avoid her completely. He ignored her calls, stopped coming to places they used to go together, and acted as if she didn't exist. Friends she thought they shared began to whisper behind her back, some even accusing her of trying to trap him. The rumors spread, and Tessa found herself feeling isolated and ashamed, carrying the weight of judgment from people who didn't understand her heartbreak. As her belly grew, Tessa tried reaching out to Mike, hoping he would come around, but he never did. He had already moved on, even posting photos of himself with other women, pretending to live a carefree life. She would sometimes see these pictures and feel her chest tighten, a painful reminder of how easily he had cast her aside. In the final months of her pregnancy, Tessa fell ill, her body weakened by the stress and heartbreak. She struggled alone, barely able to care for herself, with only a few close friends and family by her side. It felt like a punishment she didn't deserve. Finally, her baby girl was born. Tessa looked into her daughter's eyes, feeling a fierce, protective love, but also a deep, unyielding sadness. This wasn't the life she had envisioned. She had dreamed of a family, a home with love, but instead she was a single mother, abandoned and betrayed. Years later, she heard through mutual friends that Mike's life hadn't gone well. His charm had faded and he was struggling. Some even said he regretted his decision. But by then, Tessa had built a new life for herself and her daughter, finding strength she never knew she had. Though she moved on, a part of her would always carry the scars of loving someone who had destroyed her trust. She raised her daughter to be strong, determined to teach her never to rely on someone who couldn't truly love and respect her. And in the quiet moments, Tessa reminded herself that she had survived the worst of heartbreak and had come out stronger than she ever imagined.